Number 1. Cops get sued for losing control. On the morning of February 6, 2023, Deputy Chris Tier from the Coweta County Sheriff's Office got involved in a heated exchange with a driver named Tyler Merkerson as the driver pulled over in a Georgia gas station without his seatbelt on. The subsequent interaction was recorded on Deputy Tier's body-worn camera.
Let's restart. How about you don't give me a reason to stop you? You ever heard of that before? So wear your seatbelt and you won't get pulled over. It's a very simple task. If you don't,
wear yours?
Absolutely. Did you not just see it on? I had it on in the parking lot.
You're exempt.
Awesome. Give me your insurance card.
I don't have it on me.
Oh, that's another one. Be right back with you.
Yeah, right.
After the initial exchange, Deputy Tier returned to his vehicle to write Mr. Merkerson a ticket for seatbelt violation.
You said what? I got as long as I need. Yes, I do. See you in a minute. Hey, stay in the truck.
The situation escalated pretty quickly once the backup officer, Deputy Radford Brooks, intervened and asked Mr. Merkerson if he had any weapons on him. Forgetting about the knife he had in his pocket at the time, Mr. Merkerson told the officer that he was unarmed. Subsequently, Deputy Brooks instructed him to stand near Deputy Tier's car. Initially, Mr. Merkerson followed the order, but then he remembered the knife. He stepped away from the patrol vehicle to ask Deputy Brooks to retrieve the weapon. Observing this, Deputy Tier signaled Deputy Brooks with a 95 code, leading to the officers taking assertive action, pinning Mr. Merkerson to the ground, holding him by his throat, and deploying a taser.
Listen, since I pulled you over. Go to the ground. I'm gonna tase him. Put your hands behind your back. Watch out, watch out. I'm gonna tase him.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Real smart, Doc.
Good. I wanted you to get a knife off of me so you wouldn't
No,
shoot.
because you don't listen. That's the problem, because you don't listen.
Right, you
Turn around.
doing me, man.
Turn
I
around.
had a weapon and I was trying to get it off of me.
Gonna give you one ticket and a warning for the other, but you can't follow
I
directions.
was trying to get you to get a knife off.
Mr. Merkerson, visibly upset over his treatment, protests to the officers for their conduct.
Over me trying to get you to get a knife out of my
10-4.
pocket. You beat my.
All right, come on.
Talk to me like a man,
let's go.
bro. Talk to me like a man. Y'all the biggest gang in Coweta County. Y'all the biggest gang, bro.
Sit down.
Sit. Have a seat.
Shortly after, Deputy Tier approached Mr. Merkerson's wife, who had been witnessing the horrible treatment the officers meted out against her husband.
Hey, is that your boyfriend?
No, that is my husband.
Your husband has really bad listening problems.
Yeah, that's because you.
So
you
he's gonna
won't stop
catch
messing with him. That's okay.
What's his? I don't even know the guy.
His name's Tyler, but
So,
you've done this to him several different
well,
times in the first.
Here's the
one.
deal. If he'd stop giving me a reason to stop him, he wouldn't get pulled over. I don't even recognize him.
Okay, well.
I stop hundreds of cars a
That's
year.
okay, but
so.
did you give him a seatbelt ticket?
I was working on it, but he
Yeah,
won't listen.
yeah, I didn't-
Yeah, but now he's
Deputy Brooks later informed Mr. Merkerson of breaching Georgia's obstruction laws on 2 occasions during their exchange. As a result, he faced 2 misdemeanor obstruction charges, one for not adhering to an official order to remain on the patrol car's hood, and 2 for resisting the arrest efforts of both Deputies Brooks and Tier. However, by June 26, 2023, the judicial authorities decided to absolve Mr. Merkerson of all the charges related to this incident. Since then, Mr. Merkerson has filed formal complaints against both officers and is also pursuing legal charges. He also started a GoFundMe campaign to assist with his legal fees. It's really unfortunate and completely against justice, but incidents like this one aren't all that uncommon. In the upcoming story, we'll discuss an incident in Connecticut where a traffic police officer's interaction with a woman led her to shed tears. Number 2, cop fired for losing control and berating driver during traffic stop. In December 2022, a police officer faced consequences from the Waterbury Police Force due to a video that emerged displaying his excessively aggressive behavior during a traffic management incident. James Hinkle, previously a member of the Waterbury Police Department, lost control of his composure when a female SUV driver failed to heed his signal to stop and proceeded through an intersection. In the process, the officer forcefully struck the side of the vehicle, prompting the driver to realize she needed to pull over. The department's video footage of the incident revealed Officer Hinkle engaging in a heated confrontation with the driver. Officer Hinkle accused the driver of deliberately attempting to run him over. He approached the driver on foot and instructed her to park on the side of the road and later in a nearby parking lot, all of which was captured by his body camera. In the footage, Hinkle can be heard shouting angrily at the woman.
Pull in the parking lot! Pull in the parking lot! We're in this parking lot right now! Pull over! Pull over now! No, pull over, goddammit! I'm not repeating myself! Get out of the roadway and pull over!
After the driver parked her car in the parking lot, Officer Hinkle approached her window and proceeded to subject her to a relentless barrage of criticism, even though she offered sincere apologies and explained that she had not realized she was supposed to stop.
Did you not see this bright yellow vest standing in the middle of the street?
No, I did. I thought you were waving.
No! This means stop! This means stop!
I didn't see that until I was already past.
And then you still drove by me!
I'm so sorry, sir. I didn't.
License and registration now!
Officer Hinkle, unyielding in his anger, continued his furious tirade without listening to anything the driver had to say. He questioned her about why she had put him in danger by seemingly trying to run him over, despite his presence in the street with flashing lights.
You almost ran over an officer standing in the middle of the street.
I'm so sorry. I didn't realize what was going on. That was very confusing.
It's a bright yellow jacket standing in the middle of the street. What don't you understand?
All the other cars were going.
No, they weren't. You were the only vehicle coming from that way. You almost ran me over in the middle of the street.
Subsequently, the officer instructed the woman to exit her vehicle while he examined her identification and driver's license. He proceeded to inquire about her place of employment and the purpose of her presence in the area. She informed the officer that she was en route to Target. Following her response, the driver was subjected to another round of scolding from the officer concerning her perceived reckless driving.
Factor that me standing in the middle of the street,
Sir, I
stopping you, and you tried to run me over.
Sir, I swear.
And then you looked at me, you waved at me, and then you kept going anyway.
I swear I was not trying to run you over. I thought you were.
The woman was on the brink of tears, and at one point, Officer Hinkle even issued a threat to handcuff her.
I saw your hand before, and I was too late to stop. And
No,
I
it
put my
wasn't.
hand
You
up
were doing
saying,
10
"I'm
miles an
sorry."
hour and you still drove by me.
I'm sorry.
You didn't even attempt to stop your car.
Sir,
You're lucky you're not in handcuffs right this second.
I'm very sorry, sir. I really.
Explain to my kids why they don't have a dad a week before Christmas, because you're trying to run somebody over.
Moments later, another police car arrived, with a sergeant emerging onto the scene alongside another officer. Hinkle handed over the license and ID to the other officers to run it through their system. Just before the footage concluded, Hinkle approached the woman again and began to patronizingly outline the proper protocol for interacting with a police vehicle displaying flashing lights on the street.
Anytime you see flashing red and blue lights in the middle of the street, it means there's cops present.
What should I say?
No, stop talking. Stop talking. And it means you need to pay attention because there's going to be police officers out and about. Oh,
The situation took another turn for the worse as tensions escalated once again.
Stop,
All of
stop.
this. I'm sorry.
Then what were you doing in your
I was
vehicle?
paying attention to the cars in front of me.
There were no cars in front of you. There were 0 cars in front of you. You were the only vehicle traveling on that road for 500 feet. There were no vehicles in front of you.
Okay.
No, there
Okay.
wasn't.
Okay. Okay.
Observing Officer Hinkle's increasingly emotional state, the sergeant intervened, urging him to calm down and escorting him away from the scene. The woman, who remains anonymous, received a ticket at the time, but the charges were later dropped. Following the incident, an internal affairs investigation was initiated to scrutinize Officer Hinkle's conduct and actions during the stop. He was placed on administrative leave during this period. Subsequently, on January 9, 2023, Officer Hinkle was terminated from his position after the internal investigation revealed that his behavior had violated department policies. Waterbury Police Chief Fernando Spagnolo strongly condemned Officer Hinkle's treatment of the driver, deeming it unacceptable and not in line with the professionalism expected of officers in the department. Chief Spagnolo disclosed that the incident had been brought to his attention by other officers within the department, and during a press conference, he expressed his profound concern, stating, "I haven't encountered a case in my 30 years here that has eroded public trust more than this one. It truly shakes the foundations." Officer Hinkle, who had served in the department for 7 years, has the option to file a grievance in response to his termination. The police department's union has announced that it is collaborating closely with their legal counsel to examine the incident, ensuring that Officer Hinkle receives all the rights guaranteed to him under the collective bargaining agreement. If you want to watch more videos of cops facing consequences for their actions, then please subscribe to the channel.